Shalom. Let's start off by giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, citations to the Filet, that's pushing this truth across four corners of the earth and offer truth and sincerity. This Amawanabad back again in the city. This is going to go into real quick. Just a World War III update. So it says Russia makes chilling WW3 World War III nuclear threat warning to the rest of the world. So Putin putting out there, about warning to the rest of the world about World War III. Could come about. And this article is kind of long, but I just wanted to show the title of the article, but it's a long article, but I'm gonna go down real quick. So it says World War III fears as China unleashes nuclear sub-missile tests and terrifying showing strength. So you got Putin, giving the world, a notice, a warning, giving the world a warning, about, World War III, it could definitely happen. Now you got China unleashing their nuclear sub missiles, so hey, it's gonna happen. According to the scriptures of the Bible, World War III will happen. It's fully, it's gonna come about. It's gonna escalate to that. You're gonna have all these other, these other countries, and that's gonna get involved. The situation with U.S. and Iran, it's that look like that's not stopping no time soon. Iran, they want revenge. Matter of fact, let me see something about what's going on Iran. I think I saw something about Iran. Let's see. No. Hold up. So that's just the update with Iran. U.S. They still going at it. And like I said, it's gonna escalate. To eventually World War III. Like I say, Russia and China getting involved. So it's gonna come about, man. So I'm gonna get the scriptures about this up. I didn't want to make this too long. Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second woe, so the Second World War, that happened, right? Go into history of that. You go into that, about that, right? It already happened. World War III coming quickly, so World War III is gonna come quickly. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come a time of day. Breaking news. This is this. This country going at it. Going at it. Blah blah blah. Right? Ain't gonna be no rumor. It's gonna be happening. Right? It's gonna be going down. This country, violated this country and hit missiles, whatever it may be. Right? That you're gonna hear. Breaking news of it. It's gonna come about. And I say World War III. It's gonna be a nuclear war. It's not gonna be no long drawn out campaign. It's gonna be a war. That's not gonna last long. But I'm gonna get another scripture to back this up. Isaiah 9. Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confusing noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So hold up, see something real quick. Okay, so like I say, back in the ancient times, you had men on the ground fighting, with swords and javelins and so forth like that, right? In the ancient times, and troops on the ground, whatever, right? But this ain't gonna be that type of war. World War III is gonna be thermonuclear war. It's gonna be countries firing missiles. But eventually, most of those missiles that's gonna get fired on is gonna be upon America. America, Babylon the Great, gonna be getting hit with those thermonuclear missiles, 200 million missiles, right? I say it's gonna be a WW3's time, his time of when those missiles begin to be shot. I say you have Putin in Russia, so forth, North Korea, Rocket Man, Jim Jong Un, if I say the name wrong, excuse me, Kim Jong Un, and so forth, right? They want to, in Iran, when they threats about, missiles, firing missiles onto America, but it's gonna come about, it's gonna be a loyal shot. It's gonna, unleash those missiles upon America, Babylon Great. Everybody, everything that you see, everything that you see here, gonna be destroyed by those missiles. And then, like I said, loyal shot gonna return in chariots to call your foe with the angels, and he's gonna be laser beam zapping, those ain't right, so forth. That's gonna come about. So, but like I said, World War III, is gonna happen. It's gonna happen quickly. It's gonna come quick, man. It's gonna, it's gonna take a lot of people off guard, man. When it does, it's like, whoa, how fast it's gonna come about. How it's gonna happen. So, hope this was edifying. So again, I like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash, to the apostles, elders, to the Sisakim brothers, to the Fiakwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith, and Yahushua keep fighting. That's it. Shalom.